Have you ever wondered what KwaZulu-Natal looked like in the 16th century? Most of us were taught that this region was a vast, empty wilderness, a land untouched by civilization, home only to wild animals. But is that the full truth? Today, we unravel a compelling narrative, not of a desolate land, but of vibrant kingdoms, thriving societies, and powerful lineages that stretched from the Cape to Delagoa Bay. This is the forgotten story of KwaZulu-Natal, as seen through the eyes of early explorers and preserved in oral histories. As Europe entered the age of discovery, nations like Portugal began mapping coastlines and exploring sea routes to Asia. Among them were Portuguese navigators, who not only explored but kept detailed records of their voyages. One such man was Manuel Perestrelo, a Portuguese navigator and cartographer. In 1554, while returning from India aboard the carrack São Bento, tragedy struck. The ship was wrecked at the mouth of the Msakaba River on Easter Sunday, April 24th. Out of 473 people aboard, only 64 survived, and of those, merely 23 were eventually rescued. Yet in that misfortune lay a rare gift, a first-hand record of the societies along the southeastern coast of Africa. Perestrelo's journal describes the land now known as KwaZulu-Natal as well-peopled, not empty, and teeming with wild and tame animals, as well as diverse agricultural activity. These survivors, journeying on foot along the coast to Delagoa Bay, modern-day Maputo, encountered local communities and organized societies. By the 1570s, Portuguese ships sailing these waters reported local people shark fishing along the coast of Natal, evidence of maritime skills and local economies long before European settlements. And this wasn't the beginning of contact. In 1497, Vasco da Gama, on his way to India, traded with locals in southern Africa. These interactions show that Africans had their own trading systems and were not merely passive recipients of foreign presence. Later shipwreck survivors from São Tomé went deeper inland. What they discovered contradicts colonial myths of an empty land. They describe a network of kingdoms, each with its own ruler, culture, and economy. They referred to the region as Terra dos Fumos, the land of the Fumo. At first glance, it may sound exotic, but linguistic research reveals that Fumo was a mispronunciation of a local title for king or ruler, a word rooted in Zitsanga, meaning wealth, Fumo, and closely linked with titles like Tlingwani, Kumu, and Gumu. Even today, we see echoes of these names in clans like the Hlingwe, Gumede, and Kumalo. The explorers also called the region Terra dos Macamates, a corruption of Magomeda, the dominant clan in parts of modern-day KwaZulu-Natal and Mozambique. Over time, the name became Nkomati, a shift born out of linguistic misunderstanding. One of the kings they mention is Vera Guna, clearly a mishearing of King Mnguni, a central ancestral figure to many Bantu-speaking peoples. His name appears in various forms: Monimpika, Nambika, or Nambingu, all tied to the sky or heavens, Mzulwini or Mbinguni. They also mention Menisa in the north, the Themba kingdom, associated with the rainmaking Nezi clan. Angomene, undoubtedly referring to King Nomene, a significant ruler inland. In Hapula, believed to link to the Polone or Mvulane clans known in Limpopo. Anzete, likely a corruption of Mazizi, an ancient and proud kingdom. Mokalapapa, possibly the Lutuli-linked Mugababa, a powerful chief of his time. What's crucial to understand is that these were not isolated clans. They were interconnected kingdoms, part of a wider Bantu migration and settlement. These were political structures, with leadership, rituals, military systems, spiritual beliefs, and ancestral memory. They held knowledge of the land, the skies, the seasons, and commerce. Their rivers were highways, their cattle were wealth, and their oral traditions preserved a history that written colonial records tried to erase. These weren't just tales passed down through generations. The Portuguese explorers' own logs confirm what oral history has always told us, that KwaZulu-Natal, and indeed much of southern Africa, was home to thriving civilizations long before colonizers arrived. And this was only one layer of the evidence. In our next episode, we'll explore the chronicles of the São Alberto shipwreck survivors and dive even deeper into the real history of southern Africa's ancient kingdoms. So the next time someone tells you this land was empty, remind them of Viraguna, king of the Gumede, and of the people fishing along the shores before ships even docked. Remind them that our history is older, deeper, and far more intricate than the myths would have us believe. If you found this episode enlightening, help us bring more untold African stories to the world by liking, commenting, subscribing, and sharing this with your community. The truth deserves to be heard, and it starts with you.